Have you ever seen a rock formation whose form defies your imagination? Today, we'll unveil 15 of the most extraordinary geological marvels on Earth. Rocks that will not only astonish you, but also awaken your senses to the enchanting force of nature's boundless ingenuity. So, without any further ado, let's look at 15 of the most incredible rock formations from Earth's past. Number 15. Bungle Range. These domes appear soft, like folded fabric, but don't be confused, they're solid rock. In Western Australia's remote Kimberley region, the Bungle Range towers over 800 feet above the plain. Their rounded forms hide an ancient origin. These things are composed of sandstone and conglomerate, over 300 million years old, and wind and water carved them. Time added the stripes. The darker bands are built by cyanobacteria. The orange ones come from oxidized iron. Together, they form natural armor. Long known to indigenous custodians, these formations remained largely unknown to outsiders until the early 1980s. Today, they're a UNESCO heritage site. The Bungles look like something imagined, but they were shaped by slow erosion and lived history. Their presence is not just geological, it's ceremonial. Number 14. Mystery Rock of Guatape. Guatape is a vibrant town in Colombia and houses a jaw-dropping marvel you need to witness up close, the Peñón de Guatape. aka La Piedra del Peñol, this towering monolith rises 721 feet into the air. But beyond those names lies a deeper rivalry. Guatape and El Peñol once battled over ownership of the rock. Guatape even painted its name on the summit, but opposition from El Peñol halted it, leaving behind just a lone, visible G. Formed millions of years ago, El Peñón is made of granite, sculpted through volcanic upheaval, tectonic compression, and gradual erosion. Tectonic activity is one possible explanation for the rock's peculiar formation. The 740 steps carved into the stone were featured in The Amazing Race, where participants race to uncover hidden clues. The site is also linked to a tale of a village woman who bewitched a rival lover, causing his tragic fall from the peak. Guatape still holds its mysteries. Number 13. Yeliu Geopark. Yeliu Geopark boasts a super fascinating collection of rock formations sculpted by the sea, wind, and shifting tectonic plates. Situated along a 1,700-meter-long cape shaped by Datun Mountain's extension into the ocean, the site's most iconic feature is the Queen's Head. Its delicate shape protected by a stone barrier to limit visitor contact and slow down erosion. This natural sculpture, shaped over thousands of years, draws endless attention. The park also features other striking formations like the fairy's shoe and dragon's head, carved into astonishing shapes through centuries of weathering. Many of these formations appear as though handcrafted, candle-like, yet entirely natural. Fossils discovered throughout the Cape testify to the region's ancient geological roots, further enriching the site's historical importance. Yeliu's surreal terrain offers a powerful display of nature's sculpting power. However, visitors should note that Taiwan experiences frequent thunderstorms between May and June, which can affect travel plans, something to consider when mapping out your Yeliu adventure. Number 12. Manpupuner. In the untouched wilderness of Russia's Komi Republic, Manpupuner amazes with its imposing stone sentinels, 7 monumental rock pillars. Roughly 200 million years ago, towering mountains dominated this area, proudly weathering the elements. But over millions of years, relentless wind, rain, ice, and snow gradually wore down the terrain. Only the most durable stone cores survived, leaving behind these towering formations, ranging from 98 to 138 feet high. Local lore claims they're petrified members of the Samoyed Giants tribe, turned to stone by a sorcerer named Yalingner while marching toward Siberia to battle the Mansi people. The haunting legends surrounding Manpupuner add a surreal layer to its natural majesty, but its remoteness makes access difficult. Situated over 100 kilometers from major roads and train lines, the region remains isolated. The fastest route is by helicopter, but for those wanting the full experience, trekking through forests and mountains offers a tough but unforgettable journey into the heart of nature. Number 11. Cappadocia. Well, this place looks like it came out of a dream, but it wasn't constructed by some mysterious humans or aliens at all. It was carved. Millions of years ago, 3 volcanoes erupted across central Turkey, leaving behind a dense layer of ash. That ash solidified into a soft rock called tuff. Over centuries, wind and rain sculpted the tuff into sharp spires, some towering over 40 meters, each topped with harder stone caps. Locals named them fairy chimneys, but they weren't just geological marvels. People moved in. They carved out the chimneys into houses, monasteries, and subterranean cities. In Derinkuyu, they dug 85 meters underground, space enough for 20,000 people to shelter alongside animals, wine, and air shafts. A land born from fire, shaped by devotion, war, and survival. From towering relics of eruption, we now turn toward narrow passageways, sculpted not by human tools, but by rushing floods and passing time. Number 10. Bryce Canyon. Bryce Canyon National Park is famed for its mesmerizing rock formations known as hoodoos. These were carved through frost wedging and stream erosion of ancient lakebed sediments, dating back to the Cenozoic era around 60 million years ago. Despite its name, Bryce Canyon isn't a canyon, but a series of massive natural amphitheaters carved into the Ponsaugunt Plateau. The park's centerpiece, Bryce Amphitheater, contains the world's highest concentration of hoodoos, some reaching up to 200 feet. Among them, Thor's hammer stands as the park's most iconic pillar and is a must-see landmark. The area around Bryce Amphitheater serves as the starting point for most hiking trails, offering easy access to panoramic views and colorful formations painted in rich shades of red, white, and orange by natural minerals. Winter weather can make travel tricky, so spring and fall remain the ideal seasons to take in Bryce Canyon's raw, untamed beauty. Number 9. Trona Pinnacles. In California's Mojave Desert, hundreds of stone spires stand across a dry lakebed. These are the Trona Pinnacles. During the Ice Age, water from melting glaciers filled nearby Searles Lake. Calcium-rich spring water flowed in and reacted with the alkaline lake. That reaction created tufa. Over time, it formed upward, building towers. Some grew over 40 meters tall before the lake eventually dried up. The pinnacles have remained here ever since. In 1968, they were named a National Natural Landmark. Photographers, filmmakers, and off-roaders come through often to capture the one-in-a-million moments. But the landscape hasn't changed. There are no signs or boundaries, just open ground and rock formations built by mineral reactions and erosion. The surface is cracked, dry, and harsh. The spires don't serve a purpose. They're leftovers from another age. What's here wasn't built. It formed slowly over thousands of years. And now it stays, exposed to sun, wind, and time, exactly as it was when the lake disappeared. Number 8. Mount Bromo and Semeru. If you're looking for smoke, go to East Java. Mount Bromo sits inside a 5-volcano complex at the center of the Tengger caldera, a 16-kilometer-wide basin filled with volcanic sand. The crater stays active. It last released ash in 2020. Semeru, close by, is the island's tallest peak. The Tengerese people live around the area. Every year during the Yadnya Kasada festival, they hike up Bromo's rim and throw in offerings: money, crops, livestock, and fruit. The volcano is part of their belief. The surrounding landscape is dry, dark, and scorched, but it's not still. 4 crater lakes cut through it. Sharp ridgelines form its border. Steam rises from the cracks. It's been reshaped for centuries. The wider area holds both danger and meaning. It's burned, changed, and remained important. What surrounds it isn't decoration. It's a result. The crater doesn't sleep. It doesn't fade. It stays active, silent, and always close to reminding people who's in charge. Number 7, Belogradchik Rocks. Some fortresses were built, others were found. On the edge of Bulgaria's Balkan Mountains, the Belogradchik Rocks rise in formations as high as 200 meters. Their color shifts between rust red and gold. These shapes began underwater during the Permian period. Sand and gravel hardened into rock. Later, tectonic shifts lifted the land. Rain, frost, and wind sculpted what remained: arches, columns, cliffs. But the rocks don't stand nameless. Locals gave them stories. One spire is the Madonna, one's the Horseman, another is a schoolgirl. Each name carries a legend: monks, love, betrayal, curses. Roman walls still cling to the stone. So do remnants of an Ottoman fortress. This isn't just geology, it's history that shaped itself. The cliffs weren't decorated, they were used. Some visitors come for the myths, others for the view. But either way, every ridge and tower still stands like it's waiting to be claimed by the next story someone decides to believe. Number 6, Joshua Tree Rocks. Visitors come for the trees, but the real story's written in stone. In Southern California's Joshua Tree National Park, granite boulders pile up like they were dropped by giants. Some rest in heaps, others balance on impossible edges. But their history runs deep, more than 1 billion years deep. First came ancient gneiss, then intrusions of molten granite pushed through. Faults fractured the stone. Rain and flash floods found their way in. Over millennia, they split the rock from within. What's left? Domes, crevices, cliffs, and valleys hidden between formations. Hidden Valley itself was blown open with dynamite in the 1930s for cattle smuggling. Now, climbers scale its walls. The earth shaped the rock, and people left their own fingerprints. Today, both stand side by side, weathered, stubborn, and quiet. From deserts, we move to black sand and coastal cliffs where fire met ice, and basalt columns still remember the eruption that gave them form. Number 5, Yunnan Stone Forest. This forest doesn't grow, it rises. Near Kunming in Yunnan province stands the stone forest, or Shilin, a surreal labyrinth of limestone towers, some over 30 meters tall. Around 270 million years ago, this region lay beneath a shallow sea. Dead marine life settled, layering organic debris that compacted into limestone. Over time, tectonic forces lifted the seabed, exposing the rock to rain and erosion. Water slipped into cracks, dissolving pathways, leaving behind jagged vertical pinnacles. The result is a stone jungle, sharp, towering, silent. Locals believe lovers turned to stone here, and the Ye people still tell stories tied to the spires. UNESCO declared it a global geopark, but even the crowds fall quiet once inside. The formations seem to listen. They echo myths, memory, and deep time. It's not just a forest. It's a fossilized sea transformed into stone prayers, with pillars that lean, twist, and watch, unmoving, but never unfeeling. Number 4, Preikestolen. Preikestolen rises 604 meters above Lysefjorden in Norway. Also known as Pulpit Rock, it's shaped like a perfect square platform. The top is almost flat, 25 meters wide across both directions. It wasn't cut. Glaciers carved into this granite during the last ice age. Water froze, expanded, cracked the rock, and left this block behind. Along its edge, a visible fissure runs half a meter wide. It's been stable for decades, but it's monitored regularly. Each year, more than 300,000 visitors hike up. Some lie down to look over the edge. Others sit quietly. There are no railings, no platforms, just bare stone and a drop that goes straight into the fjord. The cliff doesn't tilt, but it feels like it might. The wind pulls strongly, and the ledge feels like it could slip. But it doesn't. It holds its shape, not through design, but because nature cracked it just right and left it alone. Number 3, Ennedi Desert. In northeastern Chad, the Ennedi Plateau stretches like a kingdom built from sandstone. The terrain spans an area the size of Switzerland, but its power is in the details. Over time, wind carved the stone into arches, towers, and balanced columns that resemble mushrooms or bridges. Some reach over 200 meters. But the desert doesn't just speak through erosion, it speaks through art. On rock walls inside its canyons, cave paintings over 7,000 years old show cattle, giraffes, and hunters. They tell of a time when this place was green. Petroglyphs appear in places like Neola Doa and Arche Canyon, images etched by early pastoralists. Water still hides here. Gueltas, desert pools, host crocodiles and birds that pass through during migration. It's dry now, quiet, faded, but the sandstone still holds the shape of water, people, and memory. This isn't just a desert, it's a record, a museum built from cliffs, where even the silence sounds like something that used to live here. All right, guys, now let's head over to Number 2, Bisti Badlands. In the high desert of New Mexico, the Bisti Badlands spread across 45,000 acres of broken terrain. This used to be the seabed. Layers of mudstone, shale, and coal formed over time, then were pushed upward by tectonic shifts. Wind and flash floods did the rest, cutting, carving, removing everything soft. What's left are strange rock formations. Some look like helmets, others like frozen wings, even broken eggs. Nothing stays permanent. Storms change the shapes. Wind takes off corners. Some features vanish in a year, others last centuries. Fossils are buried here. Dinosaur bones, petrified wood, pieces of ancient reptiles. Everything is exposed. No trails, no safety lines. The land doesn't guide you. You walk through it alone, across ridges and under overhangs, surrounded by stone that never stops shifting. There's no frame, no perfect angle, just natural formations, sharp, dry, and temporary. Every visit is different because this landscape doesn't freeze. It wears itself down, piece by piece. Number 1, Antelope Canyon. In northern Arizona, the walls look like they're flowing, but they're solid sandstone. Antelope Canyon began as small fractures in the earth. Over the past 5 to 6 million years, flash floods surged through them, carving smooth, wave-like corridors from Navajo sandstone. Each flood cut deeper. Some walls now stretch more than 37 meters high. But its beauty hides a threat. In 1997, a sudden flood killed 11 visitors. The canyon gives no warning, just water. It's split in two: Upper Canyon, where sunbeams pierce from above, and Lower Canyon, a narrow stone ladder twisting below. Both sections sit on Navajo land. Entry is by guided tour only, and for good reason. These aren't ordinary rocks. The canyon is sacred, a passage between realms. So, what do you think about it? Well, let us know, and we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next one.